Good evening, APES students. Since we didn't really get to see each other much in class lately, I'm just going to use a video to explain to you your final sort of review assignment for the AP exam, and also just to talk about the calendar briefly and some important images to consider studying for the AP exam. So let me start with this. So you received a trifold study guide on ecology. That's what you're studying for, actually, the test tomorrow in class. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that concept of that trifold study guide that really boils down all the information you need to know, and you're going to create one on a different topic. So you can already see your name assigned here to a topic. So Sydney, Earth Systems and Resources. The living world is already done. That was the ecology. And you can study from that again. Miroslava, populations, Carolina, and Raphael are going to do land and water use. You're not doing it together. You're making two separate ones. So make sure you're not communicating so they definitely look different. And then Sebastian, you're going to do energy resources and consumption, and Nadim is going to do pollution, and Eastlander is going to do global change. So you each have a topic, and your goal is to make a study guide. So here are your guidelines, and I'm going to send you this document as well. You really need to boil the information down to the most important. Think about the study guide you received on ecology. It did not give every detail. You can assume your reader has background knowledge. You are going to follow a similar format, if not identical, to the ecology trifold that you received. So you're going to create separate boxes for each topic. You're going to make sure they're clearly titled, they need to be colored, and they need to be organized. You can do this in whatever program you want. Word works fine, Pages if you want. You can use something fancier if you'd like. When you're writing text, you must use an outline format. So what I mean by outline format is you can't have a big paragraph. You need to break the information down into its component parts, just like the ecology one did. You need to use diagrams and graphics wherever possible. It's much easier to study from and gives you a visual way to understand the material. And you can use up to a maximum of 6 pages, so that would be 3 pages front and back. That would be the trifold, but you can use less also. You must include appropriate photos, graphics, and text in each topic box. You should get these from the APES website you find, or Google image searches, or I'm going to give you a resource right now in a couple minutes. You can also take screenshots from the Barron's book online. Just open up the PDF and you can click capture screen on a PC or shift command 4 on a Mac and make a screenshot of that, and you can insert that into your document. But here's the biggest thing. You need to realize that this is going to be a big review for you. You've been assigned a topic and you're going to become an expert on that topic. You're really going to need to do a huge review and understand the material. There's no way that you can complete this assignment, it's a major part of your grade, without really understanding the material. There's no way you're going to be able to boil it down into outline format or figure out what images to use unless you really know your material. So start by just organizing your information and pictures into a Word document. Get it from different sources, whatever you need to do. You can use our review book, you can use your textbook, you can use any online APES reviews website that you find, and copy and paste your images you want to use into that Word document as well. Then go back over that a ton of times and convert the text into outline format and put your images kind of in the order you want to include them. Okay, so you're going to kind of have a long stream of outline, and then finally, once you have all that, then you can copy and paste it into the text boxes, color the text boxes, organize everything appropriately, and just remember that you must use color. Think of that ecology trifold again when you're doing this. So this assignment is going to be due May 2nd. It's the weekend before the AP exam, and actually, I'm sorry, it's going to be due the last day in April, which I think is the 30th, so that I can hand them out to you on May 2nd, which is the weekend before the AP exam. And this way you'll have hopefully a really nice study guide from somebody else in class, and this can be what you study for the weekend. I've also copy and pasted, this is just from the AP Central website, the topics that you've been assigned. Each one is worth about 10 to 15%, and this is calculated based on the amount of multiple choice questions you're going to find in the AP exam for that topic. So about 10 to 15% for each of these. So this breaks it down. These might be the topics you use or subtopics you use for the text boxes you create. So you can go through here and search for yours and read up on that. So you have an idea for maybe how to organize your trifold. So if you have any questions, you can give me a call or email, no problem, and we can talk it out. So I would suggest getting started on this right now, this weekend. I'm going to ask to see your progress when I see you again in class next week, because again, this is sort of a big assignment. It's going to require you to really do your research on these topics so you really understand it and can boil it down for the class in a really nicely organized trifold display. I can also help you with the technology if you need it. Okay, so just really quickly, I have this posted on our website as well, right here. This is a PowerPoint showing the significant images related to AP Environmental Science. So let's just look at this really quickly. I'm not going to go through them all. You need to look at this to see if any of these images are appropriate for your trifold display. So this is obviously a graph of human population. You should be familiar with this visually for the AP exam. Here's showing the organization of life on Earth. This is showing the loss of energy at each trophic level. And do you know how much energy is lost at each trophic level? You should. This is showing sort of how many individuals exist at each trophic level in an energy pyramid. The most producers are needed to support primary consumers, to support even less secondary consumers. And you can think of energy loss as about 10% at each level. Same type of thing. This is an image of Darwin's finches. This shows limiting factors and how they affect populations. This shows evolutionary characteristics of where different birds live on trees related to their adaptations. This shows succession, secondary succession. This is showing how energy and other nutrients are cycled. This is showing which cycle is this? This is the carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, sulfur cycle, and this looks like water cycle. This is showing the reason for the seasons because of Earth's tilt. This is showing how we get movement of air masses. This is what produces wind on Earth and the wind cycles that we have. And these are the actual cycles of wind that we have that you should be familiar with. They also produce currents in the ocean that you should be familiar with, and climate effects as a result. And we get special climate effects near mountain ranges. And we have the formation here of a tsunami. This is showing the plate boundaries. This is showing where the different biomes are located relatively. This is showing, this is summarizing biomes related to the amount of water and temperature. It's really important to remember, related to water and temperature. This is showing how rivers flow into oceans and their different characteristics along the way. This is different temperatures in lakes over the course of a year, over the course of the seasons. This is showing the loss of Everglade mangroves and estuary as a result of human development. This is an important case study. This is showing different tidal zones and the type of organisms that exist. Reasons related to degradation of ecosystems in this. Pollution in contact with humans, and the DDT, pesticide use and its effect, and how that is biomagnified up the food chain, and how toxins have effects and how we calculate their toxicity using the logarithmic dose. Agricultural workers and their response. Increasing populations and what the result is going to be, carrying capacity of the environment. You should be familiar with this S-shaped curve and what factors relate to carrying capacity. In this specific case study based on deer and lemmings. This is the overall population, and these show populations of countries usually. Same type of thing. Air temperature, just like one of the free response questions we had, urban air temperature. And this is a long presentation, so I'm going to skip through the rest of these, but these are images that could very well appear in your trifold displays. So go through these and see which ones apply to your topic and which would make sense for you to use, and explain in outline format as you're using this. Okay. And finally, one more thing. I'm going to bring up our calendar. That's not it. And I want you to look carefully of where we're at right now. So right now we're here. I'm going to be gone. You have a test tomorrow. And then next week, Wednesday, you have your final FRQ test. And this is your final exam grade, remember. And you're earning some extra credit by attending some of these study sessions, but this is a big grade for you. And yes, you're taking that on the early release day. Yes, you need to stay after school. Yes, we'll probably order pizza, make it a little bit better on you. You're going to take the second half of that, the multiple choice, the next Monday. And then next weekend, actually the same day as prom, the 27th in the morning, we said 8 a.m., but for the sake of NHS students, we're going to start at 7 a.m. and we're going to take that extra credit practice exam. And our final review session, which will basically be on AP vocabulary, will be the 30th. This is the same day that your trifold display is due. I will copy those, hand those out to you on the 2nd, and you will study for the weekend and be at the AP exam. So make sure you're looking at this calendar because it really includes a lot of really important information and dates for you to keep aware with. All right, you'll get another video from me soon for your replacement of the review session.